What's going on, everybody? We're back with another Warpath video. Today's video, if you guys are interested, as you can see beside me, we have the invisible units. Yes, as you can see, the invisible units that are moving. You have to love this. If you guys are interested on some of these new invisible units, leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let's enjoy the new content. What's going on, guys? Well, I get a lot of questions here lately about units, and rightfully so. A lot of people want to know exactly what is the best route to take, which is in itself kind of a loaded question, guys, because honestly, it depends on your playstyle or whatever. But I want to specifically talk about some of the middle ground units. We know that the super heavy is very durable, used for base to base, very chunky, has a lot of armor, but it's slow, and there's only 3 of them on the field if you have maxed out. So, yeah, but the super heavies have a good place. Some people like the heavies because they sponge a little bit. However, the question that most people have is pertaining to mediums or tank hunters. Okay, so let's take for example right here. As you can see, I have a 7-star, so these are kind of, equal, even though one's leveled up right now and one isn't. But I wanted to show you. So like right here, the thing about a medium is usually these numbers right here are a lot lower than per se something heavier. Like we'll take this one for example. As you can see, these numbers are very, very high. However, these fire every 4 seconds. So you have to keep in mind when you think about a medium, you have to think that these are firing every 2 seconds. And so these numbers are doubled or tripled, whenever they in their value or whatever. And I say triple because like sometimes with the modifications and the things that you do with them, this number right here would be a lot different. But in theory, you're getting double that number by it firing every 2 seconds. Okay, so what would be the advantage of such a thing? Well, for one, if you want something to fire fast on something that's weaker, like let's say artillery or another unit per se, it's going to do less damage it's less damage, but it's doing it faster, if that makes sense. Hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. The tank hunters are going to be a lot slower, but they're going to be very pierced. So it takes only a couple shots to really get something down. Sometimes almost one-shotted, but most of the time 2-shot. But a tank hunter in its definition is going to be for a heavy tank. Why? Because a heavy tank or a super heavy is going to have a lot of armor, right? So whenever you think about this piercing, see how it says 204, and then you look at your super heavy at like 2 something, almost 300 millimeters. Whenever the tank hunter has almost equal or a little bit more, you get that piercing symbol that happens on the map. And that is because it's not over penetrating, which on Wiki will tell you that it's only like a 50% power, and that's bad because when you think about it, your penetration is 150%. So that's what you see those values like tripled because it's piercing. And then whenever it over penetrates, meaning like you're using a tank hunter for a medium or a light, you're over penetrating, it goes through the unit and it misses hypothetically. And so that's what they talk about. You only have 50% of the total value, which is bad. So that's how those work. So like if you're rocking a tank hunter, even though it can go similarly fast, just like the medium, it's going to be better for like heavy dutier units that would be heavy armor because it can pierce it. So it can 2-shot it, and it doesn't matter that it fires fast. However, the counter to this is the medium. And I know this isn't a new concept to you guys, but I just want to talk about it again. The counter to the tank hunter and the light is the medium. Okay, guys? So there's a reason for this. The lights being because the armor is less than a medium, so the medium should last longer. But for the tank hunter, it's firing slower. So even though it penetrates, it's firing slower. And even though that penetration, usually on the ones that are beefed up or like really heavy, it's going to over penetrate, and your medium's going to do better. Why? Because the medium, its penetration is lower, as you can see right here, 118. So the value of that matches more the armor of a tank hunter or a light. And so therefore you get the bonus of the 150%. So what you're seeing is it's firing faster on it, and it's getting triple penetration every single time. So it's getting that penetration number tripled every single time, and the units go down quicker. So it's all about matching your penetration to the other person's armor to really get that piercing, because that's where it's at, guys. Triple the value. You'll have, like, most units will be like negative 6,000 or negative 8,000 each hit. Well, you triple that, you're looking at almost 20,000 each time. A unit will go down very fast. So that is super important. But each have their own, they have their own stuff. Your tank hunter is going to go against your heavy. A heavy is going to be able to counter a medium a lot better because it has the additional armor that the medium really can't get that penetration depth that a tank hunter can get. So it can't get the full value, and because of that, it'll last longer and it can demolish the medium. So that's kind of the way that they have the system currently. However, a lot of you guys might see some different results due to a couple different things. One, your technology. Two, your parts, because parts can have a big deal with piercing. Also, the modifications. Most of these modifications have a lot to do with the piercing. Like I'll show you over here, like the armor depth, but also the armor penetration depth. So how far that this can go. So the modifications, and also don't forget your officers as well, because the officers right here can have an additional penetration boost that can also help you out. So anyway, guys, I hope this explains a little bit the difference between the mediums and the tank hunters and how you would be able to use them. Leave a comment down below if you have any future questions or whatever, and I hope this helps. Till next time, guys.